Hi there, Hamish Conway here, and this is TACOS Tuesday, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We are interviewing Carl Pronti from Combined Group, and welcome, Carl.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me.
Excellent. So, look, we've worked with Carl for probably 20 months now, and so we thought, right, advertising is fascinating, but stories about what brands are doing are actually, let's be honest, more interesting. So Carl, you came to mind first in terms of, it's been a pleasure working with you, and it's been great to see your success. And really today we'll dive into your journey in working with Combined Group and also some bits about Amazon as well. So sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Fantastic. Right. So look, share with the audience who you are, what you do, and that'll be great.
Sure. So I'm Carl Pronti, and I'm the marketing manager at Combined Group of Companies. We're essentially just an importer of all different kind of unique, innovative products from around the world.
Brilliant. What sort of brands?
So the ones that we probably will be most notable for people is Scrub Daddy and the Pink Stuff, but we also have a whole range of building products and other cleaning brands as well.
Brilliant. No, that's good. So certainly people will know Scrub Daddy and Pink Stuff for sure. Now look, Carl, the thing that kind of fascinates me a bit is you've worked with Combined Group now for 12 years, and so that's a decent stretch. How have you managed to keep engaged and excited about the role?
I know, I got the job when I was 12. Can you believe it? No, I mean, yeah, so I've been there 12 years, which I guess is quite unusual, especially for people in my demographic who like to kind of jump around jobs quite frequently and change their careers. I went into this job after studying marketing, and kind of it was meant to be kind of maybe an in-between job, but I stuck at it, and yeah, it's just a job that is always changing, and we're always innovating, and we're always evolving, and that means my role as marketing manager is constantly changing as well, which keeps it fresh, keeps things interesting, and yeah, getting to source products from around the world and find a way to bring them into the Australian market and make them work. And we've gone from, as I mentioned before, construction products to cleaning products, but we've also gone into equestrian and tanning and shopping bags, and every industry you can imagine we've had participated in some way, and that's what keeps it interesting and has kept me here all this time.
Fantastic. Yeah, you've probably got all sorts of general knowledge that these categories that would make quite an interesting conversation. So I guess with the products and the brands that you've got now, can you just to give some context, explain to the audience the channels that you're selling on?
So we are traditionally a B2B company. We sell to retailers across all of Australia. We have our products in most retailers across the country, but we also do sell B2C through some e-commerce websites as well. And for example, our cleaning brands on a website called Clean HQ. And so we do have B2C as well, but B2B is mostly our focus.
Yeah. Nice. And so from an Amazon perspective, so when did you start selling on Amazon? And tell us a bit about that journey from when you began up to today and some of the highlights.
Well, back in 2017, when there was so much commotion about Amazon hitting the Australian market, I was obviously working at this company, and we were very aware that Amazon was coming, because every conference you went to or any meeting you went to, Amazon was looming, and everyone was on the top of everyone's mind. So as soon as Amazon did land, we did become a seller on Amazon, and this was at the time where we were selling our shopping bags that we had. And so we jumped on as quick as we could, because we thought Amazon's going to change everything, and we got all our products listed, and what we found was that it was kind of uneventful, and it didn't really have the impact I think everyone was anticipating right off the bat. So we did kind of let it dwindle, and we stopped selling as a seller on Amazon and didn't kind of look into it until Amazon reached out to us back in about 2021 to become a vendor. And that seemed a lot more appealing to us, just with the way our business is structured, to have them essentially be a wholesale customer of ours rather than us kind of managing individual orders. So it seemed to be a better option for us. So yeah, we jumped on board as soon as they offered that to us.
Excellent. And then COVID happens, and Amazon Australia really starts to kick in, because I mean it had been a very deliberately, well, it was a soft launch, wasn't it? And there was a lot of hype and it didn't go anywhere. But then COVID happens and things really start to crank up, and particularly with some of the products that you have in the cleaning category, things got interesting.
Yeah, for us, just before COVID hit was when we had Scrub Daddy. We'd had it a couple of years at that point in time, but it really hadn't kind of taken off at that stage. Right before COVID was when we kind of landed some major retailers with that brand. And then we, at that time, brought in the pink stuff as well. And then the two brands fed each other in the Australian market to really help. And then, yeah, for lack of a better word, COVID also, I guess, brought a lot more awareness to people's cleaning habits and things like that. So cleaning products were on the top of everyone's minds, and we just kind of from there grew significantly as a result of that.
Yeah, it's like a dual thing, wasn't it? The COVID and Amazon, and then just COVID, well, cleaning. So it was those two combined, which is interesting. So look, we talked about some of the channels you sell on. So how do you look at Amazon and it fitting into your overall marketing and channel mix? And why is it important?
So for us, it's important because Amazon's not going anywhere. And I think we're very aware of that. And we have to find a way to have representation on Amazon and to make it work for us, because as we've seen over the last couple of years, even still, Amazon has grown significantly and it's only going to keep getting bigger. And, we do sell to most retailers around Australia, and some are now shutting down. Some online retailers are shutting down as a result of, I would believe, Amazon taking a domination over the market. So for us, it's future-proofing our business and making sure that we are part of it, not trying to catch up later on.
Yeah. No, that's smart. You want to be at the front of the curve, and I mean, as you're alluding to, the catch closes down at the end of April. And actually, we've got an event we're doing later, and I've got some stats there that show eBay they've dropped back by at least 33% as well. So Amazon has dominated the e-commerce space now, and it's really creating a bit of tension, though, isn't it, as well, in terms of dealing with other retailers and their price matching. So how are you kind of dealing with that tension with your retailers, and they're quite big accounts, and not upsetting them and the Amazon picture? Like how are you walking that line?
Yeah, this is, I guess, a very tricky situation for us to navigate always. And a couple of our customers price match, and when they're price matching each other to other customers that are on promo, it just becomes kind of this vicious cycle. So I guess one of our, tactics moving forward is finding products within our range that can be unique to Amazon, so that they're not trying to compete with our other retailers, whether that be pack size or volume size, or finding products that we list on Amazon that don't necessarily hit distribution through our other retailers, so that there isn't this price match war, which is what kind of causes us a lot of grief.
That's smart, and that's really what you have to do now, just given how aggressive Amazon is with that pricing strategy. I know there's been some challenges on Amazon, but maybe just starting with what's been the best part about selling on Amazon for Combined Group and the brands.
I mean, for us, it's the ease of getting our products to Australians nationwide, because we do have a pretty good distribution of our products already, but you can't match Amazon's shipping in the sense of someone can buy our product today and it's delivered free for them tomorrow if they're a Prime member. And so, that ease of our customers receiving our products is what is the biggest benefit for us.
Yeah. It came out of the, in Sydney today doing this, came out of the airport, and there's a massive billboard, Amazon Prime, same day free delivery. And that is no doubt making a massive difference. In America, that's been around for a wee while, but in Australia, that same day and getting into people's hot hands is making a huge difference. So look, talking about the online focus, obviously as Amazon, you've got your Clean HQ. Which channel does better, your own site or Amazon, and why do you think that's the case? We might have just touched on that.
Yeah, well, there is... Even ourselves, we can't compete with Amazon's shipping offering to consumers. It's actually cheaper for us to buy our products off Amazon to ship to our customers if they're buying single units than it is for us to ship products out.
Yeah.
So it really, while they both serve purposes for us in the grander scheme, at the end of the day, there's no way of competing with Amazon's shipping.
Yeah, that does make a big difference. Interesting. Look, so I'm curious. You've got a number of channels you're dealing with. What time-wise, how do you manage that, and how much of your time are you spending on Amazon?
So I guess, essentially, I am the marketing manager of our business, and so I'm not necessarily in a sales role. So I don't necessarily look after the accounts for our other retailers, but I do look after Amazon. And especially this year, I've been investing quite a lot more time because I joined the AVS program with Amazon, which means I have a allocated AVS manager that I meet with every week with a focus of growing our business on Amazon. So I'd say these days I'm spending anywhere from 20 to 30% of my weekly workload dedicated to Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. So, and just a question we hadn't really talked about, but just with AVS, that was something you kind of picked up last year. And that's, for those listening, it's Amazon Vendor Services. It's actually a paid service with Amazon Vendor, and often people like to use that because there can be some challenges around catalog in particular, and actually getting attention from Amazon to get price changes through, etc. But what else have you noticed has been useful in working with AVS?
I'm lucky. I'm Sydney based, and Amazon has offices here. So I actually get a face-to-face meeting with my Amazon AVS manager every week. And just having, I guess, that human contact with someone from Amazon has been life-changing, really, for how we deal with Amazon. Because prior to that, you're logging onto their support system and sending off a ticket to God knows who, and you don't know whether you're going to hear back, and you don't have any direct contact with anyone. And to actually sit down, face to face with someone has just changed the way we can even deal or get problems solved with Amazon, or even make things happen with Amazon.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. And so, we've worked together now for 20 months. And so what was it that had you think about we should get some specialist help with this? Yeah.
I think essentially, leading almost on from my answer to the last question, Amazon is so hard to navigate alone. And especially within my business that I work for, I was working on the Amazon account by myself. And it is a mammoth task to understand how it all works. And it's so intricate how Amazon works in terms of even how to have your product title, which is totally different from any of our other retailers, or how we would normally represent our products, and the correct way to have your image stacks and all of that. It's impossible to have all that information. So, working with you guys has been has kind of like cleared that for us and made it seem so much less daunting, because you guys are obviously the experts and how everything should go, and that's why we ended up looking for an alternative there.
Yeah, it's often the way. I mean, so you talk about AVS and working with an agency, and they're kind of two different paths. Like AVS is really the niggly things in around inventory and catalog and pricing. Well, if you want price increases, and then on the agency side, it's actually really about the quality of it's about growth, like how you're really going to grow. Part of that is Amazon ads, and this podcast here is about TACOS Tuesday and generally going deep into advertising. So what have you noticed or found to be most useful with Amazon ads and your overall marketing mix for the brands?
So I think when we first started talking, we were already experiencing quite rapid growth on Amazon without advertising. I remember having a conversation with you. It's like, well, we're growing at a rate that we're comfortable with. But something that you highlighted to me at that point in time was how other brands were able to advertise on our actual listing page or on our product pages or on our search terms. So someone could be searching Scrub Daddy, but they're getting served ads for our competitors. And so that for us was, defending our brand position became a key reason why I wanted to advertise on Amazon. And that's even highlighted more so at the moment because we do have a competitor that has imitated us our products, and they're starting to advertise on Amazon. And so we want to really defend that position and make sure that if a customer's on one of our brand's pages, they don't get kind of like taken away to one of our competitors. So that's become very important for us.
Yeah, it's so important. And particularly as Amazon Australia is still relatively immature, like this, it's about doing everything you can to really cement your top ranking, and it is defending your turf pretty much. And even if people will seriously imitate what you're doing there. So look, I guess, switching gears, just looking at the overall online marketing, like what, not necessarily even just Amazon, but what's working well for you to build the brands in Australia of Scrub Daddy and the Pink Stuff and Astonish and others?
For us, these brands were all born on social media, essentially. That's where they've come into prominence. Is back, 6 or 7 years ago, people weren't proud to show their cleaning routines on their Instagram or their TikTok. If it was TikTok around then, I don't know. But it was people weren't proud to show their cleaning habits or anything. But then what did change 6 or 7 years ago, specifically with products like Scrub Daddy and the Pink Stuff, people were proud to show it off, them cleaning their kitchens and having their Scrub Daddy sponge in shot. And that's what really changed it for us, because then as more and more people did that, it just really pushed our products out to more and more people. And that's really what's been effective for us, is that, I guess, organic social media following, and I guess that cult-like following that our brands kind of have generated.
Yeah. So interesting. And this is like everyone out there who's got a brand is like, oh, how can we find this viral product or product that's going to go nuts? Like, how do you, given you're on the wave of the Scrub Daddy and the Pink Stuff, how do you think about what's coming next down the pipeline, and how do you engage with your customer base, and how do you kind of find out what's going to be coming next or what they want or like or not? Like, are you doing much of that?
Again, it comes down to social media. For us, we're not necessarily an importer, so we're not looking to create new products or manufacture new products, but we're out there on social media looking for what's doing good over in the UK or over in the US or over in Europe. And then we find those brands and we grab them as soon as we can and bring them here. And the most recent example of that is our product Yugu, which is a drain cleaner, foaming drain cleaner, which has hundreds of millions of views on TikTok. It's essentially a can that you put over the drain of your sink, and you push it down, and this pink foam flushes through and comes out the overflow and pulls out all gunk and gross stuff and cleans your drains that way. And we saw that kind of going viral overseas, and so we've reached out to that company and secured distribution in Australia. So that's essentially how we're finding, I guess, the next thing to bring to Australia and find the next big brand.
Yeah. Very smart, very smart. I like that. And there's also was it Vermouche as well? Dissolving the pet hair sort of one. Awesome. All right, let's look at some quick fire questions. Mm-hmm. So your top tip for negotiating with Amazon retail
is to negotiate, and don't be afraid to negotiate. I think when you first start working with Amazon, you kind of feel like you feel like they're a dictatorship and they just tell you the way it is. And I used to just accept it. But now I've realized you can push back and you can make things work in your favor. You don't just have to accept what they give you.
No, that's good. Yes, Amazon will not stop. It's like I think they have negotiation boot camp that teaches them every tactic in the book. So you've got to push back. What about your top tip for efficiency and cost savings on Amazon retail?
I know this is going to sound like a sponsored ad, because I'm going to say don't do it alone, because I could have wasted a lot of time educating myself on how to structure products and what's the best way to write your product descriptions and the bullet points. And I find the best way to be efficient on Amazon is to get the experts in.
Well, thank you. The other thing I was also thinking of that you did in around preparation for sending stock in, how you were doing cartons, and then you decide, right, we'll do now pallets.
That's right.
And just the time saving that it helped in your warehouse.
Yeah, because obviously as a vendor, when we ship out every order, every box needs its own ASN label, and which sometimes some of our orders had 2,500 boxes, which is a lot of stickers to print out, have the boxes all laid out in the warehouse ready for the stickers, make sure you're matching the right sticker. And so then, I'm speaking with my vendor manager at the time. We've got a pallet account that's attached to our vendor account now. That means that we can give them a slight discount. But the best part about that is of an entire pallet, which might have 400 boxes, we just pop one sticker on it. So that's really been, a big help.
Nice. All right. And so there were some quick fire questions, but look, what's coming up next? As you look at 2025, what are you looking forward to? What's in the pipeline?
Well, I'm looking forward to going to Japan, which is in April. Separate topic. I guess I'm looking forward to finding new brands and new products to launch on, not just Amazon, kind of all around our different distribution network, and seeing it's as I kind of alluded to at the start of this, my company is always evolving and always changing, and it's hard to even kind of anticipate what the next year is going to be. Even when I look back 12 months ago, I didn't think I'd be sitting in this room so heavily bedded down with Amazon. So I guess, I'm just excited to see what happens.
Yeah. Fantastic. And look, got to ask, is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you think is important for people listening?
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it in one of the quick fire questions, but I think if you do have a contact at Amazon, don't be afraid to stand your ground, because it does become a daunting task, and you have to learn your worth, I guess, with them as well, and realize that there is room to negotiate. You don't just need to be told what to do.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, well, Carl, look, I've really enjoyed that catch up, and we'll move next door for the Amazon vendor event and with some other vendors there. But look, great chance to catch up with you here in Sydney, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.